you're from East Palo Alto, not Palo Alto.
It's close in proximity, but it's two different cities.
42 murders last year and a population of just 24,000 in a community of only 2.5 square miles.
Yeah, I'm from the Elephant Graveyard, man.
I'm gonna take you back to when East Palo Alto, also known as EPA, and Small Town Cemetery was the murder capital in America.
Really, I come from the crack epidemic, though.
This is the most dangerous neighborhood in America.
This was in '92. They shot my house up a few times, shot our cars up a few times.
To escape it was a crazy blessing because there's so many people that I know that died young.
Violent crime is on the upswing in East Palo Alto.
Right before I was like 21, 22, I probably went to like 25 funerals. So I turned 21 in Susanville State Prison. Really, the spiritual gifting starts maybe like when my mama died, really. I'm from an ancient Egyptian bloodline. I couldn't really express myself to the homeboys because they wouldn't have understood.
This is a special episode. We're going to take a little trip to Rogue Town, California, the land of the Rogues, aka East Palo Alto, which is my home soils. Born and raised, well, raised in East Palo Alto at least, till I left for college and did some other things. Devontae Adams, the Raider, well, ex-Raider, now a Jet, is from East Palo Alto. And my next guest is from East Menlo Park, which is East Palo Alto's sister city. Yes, the streets were hot back in the day, and he was in those streets doing his thing, but now he lives a much more spiritual life. I want to welcome Nate Gardner, aka Jahcyrus, to the show. Nate, what do you remember about East Palo Alto and the area back in the day?
I would say like a Black community, you know, and you know, pretty much the ghetto, the hood. You go through certain things, you know, so you see certain things. You know, my father was the influence in my life. My community was the influence in my life, and you know, and really, I come from the crack epidemic though. So when crack hit, I watched our whole community drop to its knees. I watched like beautiful, like high school, like sweethearts start smoking crack and start selling their body for a $5 hit. So I watched that, and that was one of the what I kind of escaped but fell into though. You feel me? Because I said I wasn't gonna use it, but I was on the other side selling it. You feel me? So hustling and all that stuff, you know, it started at a young age, going door to door selling candy, selling newspaper subscriptions, to just start hustling when I was like 14 to 15. And it just, you know, I you know, the Mike Washingtons and the legendary dudes like we used to look up to and stuff like that. So it kind of evolved from that to, like I said, the crack epidemic hit, you know, is the street life come in and going to prison, going to jail and things like that. But I was always sharp because I went to, you know, my mama like would tutor me. She was hands-on with a lot of stuff, you know what I'm saying? So when I was lagging, even to the point where she put me in a private school for like 4 years in Fremont when I used to live in Fremont. But it's just, you know, how can I say? It's just, you know, things evolve. And when you're going through prison, I wrote about 3 or 4 books. I started a magazine, Hood Star magazine. I did all that in prison because to me, even when I was in jail, I always say this: keep your head above the fence, right? And your imagination is always free. So I always was able to write poetry, novels, memoirs, and stuff like that. So the streets it was I would say it was like a hidden university, and to escape it was a crazy blessing because there's so many people that I know that died young. But before I was 25, I probably went to like, actually, let me take that back. Probably before I was like 21, 22, I probably went to like 25 funerals. You feel me?
So how did you transition? Like, what did you go to prison for? I'm just curious. If you want to divulge that.
Indictment. Selling drugs, on out brownie, indictment. Actually, I got probation. Then I violated probation, and they violated once I violated my probation, they gave me my probation time, which was 3 years, so I wound up doing like 18 months. I turned 21 in Susanville State Prison. My 21st birthday, I was in jail. Yeah.
So when did you start having like spiritual inclinations, or did you always know that you had a different path ahead of you? Because obviously everything happens for a reason.
So my stuff started young. I used to see ghosts and stuff when I was like 7 or 8. Like, but I guess because I was like really the only child. I got brothers and stuff, but we got different mamas, right? So I was raised in Menlo Park with my grandmother and my grandfather, right? So I started having but you know, you would think like you tripping. Damn, did I see a ghost? You feel me? Some stuff like that. But I feel that really the spiritual gifting starts maybe like 5 when my mama died, really, to be honest with you. When she made the transition, she started coming to me in the spirit realm. I'm like, hey, I was scared at first, but it was just, and then she started telling me what to do. Go here, go do this. She kind of reminded me who I had no clue. Because I was already, because remember I'm an herbalist, so I was selling the alkaline vibe. I was already doing that. That's spiritual too. But when I started being able to send energy, becoming Reiki healing, energy coming out my hands, channeling information, that was go to India, go to Peru, go to Belize. I'm getting sent to go to places to get initiated.
So what were you thinking as you were getting these like when your mother started communicating you from the other side? What were you thinking at that moment?
What was I thinking?
And what did you feel?
So she died. She been gone like 5 years. So she died, and maybe like 2 months after that, she started coming to me. Mm-hmm. So I felt it was a trip. So let me rewind it a little bit. So what happened was my grandmother died first, right? So my mama died first, and my grandmother died 4 months after. So I was going through a heavy spiritual trip because both my queens was gone, 2 women that raised me, right? So, and they left me property, right? So I'm dealing with family members that's mad, that's hating, and you know, it's a will, it's a trust, so they already know what it is. I've been in real estate way before they left me the house, so I'm the one that helped them keep the house up. You feel me? So people was mad about a lot of things that when my grandmother left in the will and the trust, so it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I just stuck to the script, right? So anyways, but it was stressful. So I wind up going to go, because I wanted to go get this cleanse, a Reiki cleanse, an energy cleanse. And when I wind up going there, the lady that was there, she wasn't, well, let me say this. So the lady that supposed to gave me the spiritual cleanse, she wasn't there. So a psychic was there. So I was with my girl. I'm like, come on, let's forget it. Let's see what the psychic's talking about, right? Because I didn't care at this point. I just wanted to know what was going on. And as soon as I sat down in front of the psychic, she started crying. I'm like, what the heck? And what came out of her mouth was profound, you know. And then she was like, take this number and take this name and call these people. You have to go see them right now. So she gave me a message to go to a certain group. And that's why I went to this place called Divine Lineage in Mendocino County up under Sai Baba. And that's when I got initiated as a healer and a high priest because of my bloodline. It's like I said, the psychic lady started crying, and she started crying because she recognized my bloodline, basically. And then she was like, you have to go here. Tell them I sent you. And they didn't charge me for nothing and none of this stuff. And I got initiated as a priest then. And then when I went to India and all other stuff, and I started getting, you know, more high ranking. You feel me? It was a trip, but yeah.
So when all this was happening, Nate, like we're from like the hood if folks don't know, and like what did your associates think? What, were you telling other people what was going on? What did folks think about these revelations?
I didn't tell. Only person that knew was my girl. She the only, because she was getting initiated too. So we both went, you know, because she's psychic. So she would channel information to us, and she the one really helped me down. And she was like, we got to go here. We have to. I'm like, why? She's like, because the ancestors said. So we would go to India, we would go to Peru, we would go to Machu Picchu, and these places that we was going to had a vibration in the ground, and that's why they say when you're on holy ground, take your shoes off, so the vibration is going up through your feet. So I was going, and like the ancestors say, they're not going to come down to your level. You got to rise to their level. That's why you have to go where they at and walk where the guys walk. So I was being trained, but I didn't reincarnate a hell of times. So once I started figuring out all this stuff, because I'm from an ancient Egyptian bloodline. Feel me? I know my bloodline. You feel me? So once I started going through certain places, doing the certain initiations, I was picking up on frequencies and energies. So when I'm able to heal, it's that much more powerful because these places I've been to was vortexes, energetic vortexes. So it was a trip, but I didn't share it with a lot of people because niggas was already like, excuse my language, but cats was already like, okay, bro, on some weird stuff, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? So I couldn't really express myself to the homeboys because they wouldn't have understood. Feel me?
Totally. So at one point, did you decide to go public and share what you were learning and share your different side of life with folks? Because obviously now on social media, you're very much in the open now.
Yeah, so I just had to be my authentic self. You feel me? Because I had the imposter syndrome going on. I'm like, damn, bro, like I got spiritual gifts. So it was like, that's like the universe or you giving your kid the best Harvard education, the best clothes, the best stuff, and you expect him to do well. You feel me? So that's like the ancestors giving me these spiritual gifts. And it's like, you ain't even using them, bro. And what is you scared of? You feel me? So I think when I started going to go fight and crossing the ancestors over, going to go do spiritual work, going to go do battles and shit, like, it was crazy. So it got to the point where I almost died in Costa Rica because before I went to Costa Rica, I went to Dominican Republic, and so I'm what you call a psychopub, right? So a psychopub is somebody that helped the ancestor cross from the third dimension to the fifth dimension. A lot of ancestors, that's why people can do black magic and voodoo and all that shit, because a lot of the ancestors is lost souls still walking the earth because they didn't get a righteous crossover. Feel me? So when I started like facing that kind of stuff, I was like, I'm not scared of these dudes. Like, nobody on social media, no human being, because I go deal with spirits. So when am I like cats? People can talk gangster, but they scared to go face a demon or a witch. I do it all day. You feel me? So I think the hood prepared me for this. Because if I wouldn't have went through no tough stuff in the hood and had resilience and stuff, I couldn't walk this walk going to countries by myself and walking up in Africa. Africa is the most powerful place I've ever been. And they really tapped in with the ancestors. So you gotta I have protection around me like a ring of fire, bro. I roll with a whole bunch of angels. It's not just me. You might just see like, oh, that's AG. But in the spirit realm, I'm somebody totally different because it's a duality. Each time you go to sleep, you go to the spirit realm.
So for the average Joe who's like not up on this information, like they're probably thinking this guy's talking crazy right now. How can you validate or confirm that what you're speaking about is real? That it's because I speak to folks, who on this level, but how can you relate to other folks who aren't on your level? Do you try to?
To be honest with you, it's like, how can I say it? Some people don't have, it's like a certain levels of consciousness have to be unlocked, right? So if you haven't got to that level of unlocking them states, then of course I'm talking to the wrong people. I don't mind that because I understand awareness and mindset. You know what I'm saying? So they can look and be like, oh man, you can look at my testimonies. I got over 100 testimonies about cancer getting reversed. Any disease, liver disease, cancer, erectile dysfunction, cyst fibroids, you name it, touching people and getting healed. So it's like, for me, I don't care what you believe, to be honest with you, because I'm not here to prove anything to anyone. I'm here to represent the truth, right? So even going places, and you see demonic spirits all the time when you tap in like this, because they come for you because you're the light. So it doesn't matter most of the time when people want to be combative and argumentative and stuff, it's because, that's their position, right? But then if you get rude and stuff, that's because sometimes when you represent this kind of work I do, you irritate demonic spirits that's within these people. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
You irritate me. So it's like, all right, whatever. Because I'm not here to argue with you.
So what are you working on now?
So I got a course that's going to come, and like just recently I just put up a post or a meditation called 9 Ether Meditation. I just put it out there for the Black folks for free because it's tapping you into all the components that's in your body, the liquid diamonds, the liquid minerals. You know what I'm saying? You have everything that's in the earth is in your body. You feel me? The oil represents the blood. All this stuff is within you, right? So I'm teaching people how to activate that. But then that's like when I'm teaching a whole course, a master course. So you'll learn. So like when I went to India, I learned how to give a Shakti pod, right? Most people don't know what that is. A Shakti pod is when you touch somebody on the forehead. It's like transcendental meditation. I'm sure you heard of that, right? That's what Oprah Winfrey do, LeBron James. Basically what they do is a priest to give them a mantra. And when he give them the mantra, he'll touch them on their forehead. And then he'll basically activate that they pineal gland. When they say the mantra 3 times, now it's download. The only thing they got to do is say the mantra. They can fall into a meditative state. So I teach that, right? Because I've been initiated in that school of thought in India. So so what's coming is the Shakti pod, the alkaline diet, mindful awareness, and Reiki healing. So I'm teaching all this in one. I would say it's one modality. You feel me? And this is stuff I learned through my traveling throughout the world and becoming a shaman, becoming a priest, becoming an herbalist, becoming a Reiki healer, energy healer. So all these different things that I mastered as a healer, I put them together, and then I'm able to give them to the people. They can come to the course. They can come to the they can come and get lessons. They can come and get some healing, whatever. You feel me? So it's just that's what I'm working on right now. I'm here in Brazil right now because I stay in South Africa. I've been living in South Africa for a year and a half, but I was there fighting a lot of spirits and shit like that. So I kind of wanted to, due to the fact, like I just left Egypt, right? And when I was in Egypt, like I don't go to places for this. This is the first time I came in about a year and a half, 2 years on a vacation. I go to places for initiations into battle. That's what I go do. I go to go battle. I go fight principalities. A lot of cats are still in the street fighting. That's nigga. I've been graduated from that, right? So I go fight principalities. I go and I get sent to go do this, but due to the fact that once I made it to Egypt, right? So I'm gonna give you some ism. So as above, so below. You heard of that, right?
Oh, of course.
Okay. So here on Earth, you have political prisoners. You have political prisoners, whether it was Nelson Mandela, the Black Panther Party. There's all kind of political prisoners. In this spirit realm, you have political prisoners. They trapped spiritually. You feel me? And these demonic spirits have them in jail. It's the jail in the spirit realm, right? So when I went to Egypt, I went there to change the vibration and help the ancestors to cross over that was stuck on that dimension. You feel me? So I did a lot of spiritual work as a high priest right there. So with that being said, that was my last real mission, but that was the final mission to get to Egypt and activate it. You feel me? Activate the temples. That's why I went to every temple and every pyramid to change the vibration, to change the energy. Right now, this is what you got right now. As you see the war going on, right? In the Ukraine and with Russia and then, the US and Israel and all that stuff, right? And God bless Gaza. You feel me? It's the spiritual work going on too. Right now. Just like that. You feel me? And the thing is, in the spirit realm, we're in the Aquarius age, right? So they called all the high priestess, right? I'm a high priest. So they called all the high priestess for battle. And what do they call us to come to do the battle at? In Africa. There's so many high priestess in Africa right now from all around the world, bro. South Africa, mainly. You feel me? Because that's the birthplace of humanity. That's where you're gonna find with the economics and all them went. They went to by Adam's calendar. You feel me? Places like that, because that place is just like Stonehenge. Has the same vibrations, the stones. People walk through that joint and get killed from cancer and all kind of stuff. I was just there. So this is the front line, bro.
You dropped a lot of jewels in the last few minutes. So what do you do to help folks who are looking to wake up, but they're looking for more information on what you've learned through your experiences? Do you ever work with folks who might not be as up on the knowledge that you are? Or do you ever have conversations with folks?
Yeah, I have a mentor group. I have a bunch of young boys. I have like about 8 of them that I mentor. And then just, and then people call me for healings and for Reiki sessions and to balance their chakras. And so that's how I help people. But now I'm getting more vocal with it because I got to a point in my life where I'm not always in war, I'm not always in battle. Because if you stay on the battlefield too long, you're subject to get hurt. You did?
Mm-hmm.
So that's how that goes. You kind of like, once, that's like the ancestors told me that I was being a bully in the spirit realm. Because I go to the spirit realm and just deal with a cat. Because I go deal with the soul.
I got a question for you. Is this through meditation? Are you doing this, or are you actively conscious as you're doing this? These different spiritual battles.
I can meditate and teleport, right? So, for instance, like I'll give you an example. We got enough time. We got
I think so. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, we're good. I got another minute. We got a few minutes.
So let me give you an example about. I'm gonna say this is gonna be funny. I don't even want to say that one. So I'm just gonna say like. Let me see. Let's not say because everybody sound way too far fetched for cats. So I'm gonna say this one. This is where people might can digest this one. So I'm at a club, right? And the bouncers is tripping. I'm like, why y'all tripping? They're like, oh, you can't get in. I'm like, why? Like, so I come to this club all the time. He was like, no, we having a private party, right? So he spin off on me. I'm like, this trick ass. Like, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? So I don't trip because there's hella things cracking in South Africa. So I'm on my looking on my Uber, and I'm seeing all kind of people come in and go out, right? So I'm like, dang, bro just lied to me. So when he come back, I'm like, bro, why are you? I was like, if you hating, you hating, bro. If you don't want me to come in, you don't want me to come in. You can just say that, bro. You ain't got to be lying. He was like, no. You don't buy drinks. I'm like, what you talking about? I don't buy drinks. You don't buy no tables. I'm like, I don't drink. I'm not an alcohol. I might have one drink. I was like, because in South Africa, they get it in with the liquor, right? So I'm like, bro, I don't be drinking like that, bro. You feel me? So he was like, I was like, but what about the time I come? Because it's a restaurant, and and I come here and eat. I was like, that don't count. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't patronize the spot and stuff like that. He was like, oh, so he leave and then he come back and he didn't let me in, right? But I'm already mad now, right? So I give me a drink. I play the bar for a minute, so I'm pissed off still. So I leave, boom. I come back the next day, right, to look for him, right? Because there was two of them. So I need to check their temperature today, right? They ain't there, right? So I'm like, all right, so I spin off. I was like, you know what? Because in Africa, right, the thing about with Africa, they check you in the spirit realm. This is how I learned this technique. They don't, you can talk some stuff to some Africans, they'll deal with you in the spirit realm, right? So I'm like, and I know this, right? So I'm like, because you can say, I'm gonna get the police on you, they be like, oh, so what? But if you say, I'm gonna tell you answers on you, they be like, huh? They're straighten up fast, bruh. So I was like, and I know who I am, right? So I was like, I'm gonna go to the spirit realm and check them. This is what I'm gonna do, right? So I go home, I go into a meditation, right? And boom, I go to the spirit realm, right? And I see his ancestors, the one that was being mean to me. And I told them, I'm like, look, this is sound crazy, right? But this is what happened, right? I'm like, either you deal with them or we gonna deal with them for being rude, right? And they was like, we gonna deal with them. This is how they got in me, right? Boom, that was that, right? I'm like, all right. So the other dude, when I called to go check him and his ancestors, he was like, this is crazy, right? He was like on the ground and crows was eating at his chest. So it was like he already had Muti or black magic. There's a lot of Muti and black magic out there too. You feel me? Just like in a lot of African countries, you know what I'm saying? No disrespect, but it's a lot of, it's not really Muti because Muti can be good too. So it's a lot of dark Muti. Let me say that, let me rephrase it, right? So I'm like, damn, right? So the next day, right, I leave. The next day, I don't go up there because it's not the club day. So I wait till Thursday and I go, right? Then when I go Thursday, the dude that was being rude to me, the big one, who answers, I saw, oh, bro, what's up, man? You good, man? You gonna come on right on? He hella nice to me, right? And then the other dude, he was still standing hella standoffish, right? So I'm like, okay, nigga, I could have told you some shit about what I saw was going on with you, but keep being like that, right? Boom, I go in, nothing, boom. I swear, like not even like maybe 2 weeks later, because I didn't go to that club because I don't club that much. I go there, he ain't been there since. I don't know what happened to bro. You feel me? So it just goes to show you that it's levels to this. You feel me? Like you got people with a lot of times this is the thing. People go to, you ever been having a dream, you been chasing motherfuckers shooting at you and shit, you trying to get away? You ever had one of them kind of things?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's because it was really happening. Probably in another dimension. That's why your heart was still beating and stuff. You can actually kill somebody in the spirit realm and it manifests. That's why people die in their sleep. Feel me? So once I understood this and that type of power, right? It was like, I'm humble enough, right? Because either you work for the light or you work for the dark, right? And that's why the ancestors is telling you, Brad, stop being a bully in the spirit realm. Because you might see me right now as Nate G, Jahcyrus, but I'm somebody totally different in the spirit realm, King. You feel me? I don't look like this. I look like an ancient Egyptian. Just let me just say that. So it's just, that's what it is right there, bro, on the next level, because it's like when you, I guess because just going through certain initiations I've been through, it and if you, when you reincarnate, you have a soul contract. You come to do something. You feel me? So people didn't reincarnate because we have what you consider the indigo child. You got light, you got star seeds, you got indigo children, you got crystal children.
All souls.
Yeah, I'm an indigo. You feel me? I'm an indigo child. So it's like, but they tried to block us. I'm gonna say this before we go. That's why the crack epidemic was so big in the community, because they know the indigo children was coming. These was the ones that spin off of the Black Panthers. These was their children, right? So they had this fire. If you notice, our generation kind of is the hardest, because you had the Black Panthers got knocked off with the heroin, with the penthen, with all the stuff. And then the generation up under that, we were scared to use drugs. So they tried to knock us off with the crack epidemic, with 3 strike laws and all that stuff, because they knew somebody was coming from that era. A lot. You feel me? That's where the conscious rappers come out. That's where the Tupacs, the Nas's, all that consciousness. You feel me? After that, it hasn't been the same, bro. You think about it. So they knew a certain group was coming, and they knew that they had to incarcerate us. That's why it was a mass incarceration of the Black man in America, bro. It's like it was because this how the powers that be do it. That's why your birth, it don't go by your birth, your sign go by your natal chart, right? Then on top of that, because people are like, I'm a Virgo, I'm a Cancer. No, you're not. You gotta look at your natal chart. What time you was born, where you was born at, how did the stars line up? All this stuff is your natal chart. And then also the government, that's why they get your birth certificate. They get it too, because then they can understand your potential. How you line up, just like with Jesus. He lined up with certain stars and stuff, so they knew who he was. They've been doing this, and they still doing it now, but they do it like they hide it. Like, oh, it's your birth certificate. They know exactly what day you was born, where you was born at, what hospital, what time, how the stars was lined up, all that stuff, bro. It's deep.
All right, so we have a few more minutes. Let's do this. So let me ask you a few questions that I asked all my guests. What is your mission in life? Why are you here on Earth, Nate?
I'm here to change the frequency. I'm here to change the thought pattern. I'm here to upgrade. I'm here to activate. I'm here to teach people that holistic medicine work. I'm here to prove that God is real.
Very good. What's the most valuable lesson you've learned in life so far?
Humbleness, awareness, and mindset.
And last question, what would be your advice to anyone who's going through a spiritual awakening?
Just go within. Learn to meditate first. Once you learn to meditate, you have awareness. Awareness comes with mindset. Mindset comes with implementation, doing it. You feel me? So just if you trying to wait, just go within and see, have self-awareness. And therefore you can probe and see what's going on within your body. And then you can start turning and fixing stuff. And then, like I said, that's the mindset hack right there. And then the implementation, like going to go do the work. Feel me? That's it. It's really that simple, because we all have a divine mission. You feel me? And right now the devil is losing. We back winning. The playing field is getting back even. As you see, a lot of these cats falling on their sword, they're gonna continue to fall on their sword, because we're in the Aquarius age, and it's a new vibration.
Man, folks who want to learn more about you, where can they go?
You can go to Alkaline Vibe. You can go to my, my Facebook, Jahcyrus NG. What is the other one? Both of them is Jahcyrus NG, and Rich Within on TikTok, and Rich Within. Because I'm starting my YouTube channel, so people want to go there and check it out, and and if they need, some spiritual advice, some upgrades, some lessons and stuff. We give a lot of stuff away just to help people get started on their mission. Then if they want to take the deep dive, we got them.
Very good. Anything else you want to close out with?
And the main thing is just to have self-awareness. And with self-awareness, that just being aware, you can just be, just in the streets, and like you can be walking down the street, there's 5 or 6 people, not to walk past them with your chest out, acting hard or something like that. So have awareness of where you at, then have because awareness, and then change your mindset, right? And then move on that principle, you know what I'm saying? And stay peaceful and powerful.
Very good, Nate. It's good seeing you, bro. Good to see you doing all positive things, and keep doing that good work.
I say, King, I appreciate you, man.